What if some of the most useful inventions didn't fail, but were quietly pushed aside because they worked too well? Let's start with something almost forgotten. About a century ago, cities across the United States were connected by fast, clean electric streets. They were affordable, efficient, and accessible to almost everyone. You didn't need to own a car, just hop on a tram and go. But that created a problem. If people didn't need cars, entire industries, automobiles, oil, tires would lose massive profits. So instead of competing, something else happened. A network of companies began buying up streetcar systems in city after city. But instead of improving them, they neglected them. Maintenance slowed. Service declined. Tracks disappeared. Gradually, electric transit was replaced not with better systems but with gas-powered buses. The result: more pollution, more traffic, and cities redesigned around cars. Later, those involved were found guilty of conspiracy. Now let's move from cities into your closet. In the early days of synthetic materials, a new fabric hit the market that was incredibly strong. Early versions were so durable they barely wore out. Sounds like a dream product, right? Not for the companies selling it, because when something doesn't break, people stop buying replacements. So the formula was changed. The material became weaker, more fragile, easier to damage. Suddenly, customers had to keep coming back. This idea became known as planned obsolescence, designing products not to last, but to fail. Now think about something even more basic. Water. For centuries, access to drinking water in public spaces was normal. Fountains were everywhere. Then bottled water entered the scene. But how do you sell something people already get for free? First, create doubt. Advertising began suggesting that tap water might be unsafe even when it met strict standards. Then, public infrastructure quietly declined. Fountains disappeared or stopped working. Eventually, the free option became inconvenient or unavailable. Today, people pay dramatically more for bottled water than for tap. And it didn't stop there. Public restrooms used to be standard. Instead, access is often tied to being a customer. Buy something, get a code, use the bathroom. A basic human need turned into a transaction. Even nature hasn't escaped control. In some places, collecting rainwater, something that literally falls from the sky, has been restricted. The reasoning comes from old water laws. If that rain would eventually flow into rivers, capturing it could be seen as taking someone else's resource. Now let's talk about farming. For thousands of years, farmers saved seeds from their harvest and reaped them. Simple, sustainable, independent. But modern agriculture introduced patented seeds. Saving seeds from these crops, in some cases, that can lead to lawsuits. A natural cycle that lasted millennia became something you might have to pay for every year. There's a pattern here. From transportation to clothing, from water to agriculture. Systems that once worked efficiently were reshaped, not always to improve them, but to make them more profitable. And the influence goes even deeper. Think about the way cities are designed today. Crossing the street outside a designated area is illegal in many places, but that wasn't always the case. There was a time when streets belonged to people. Cars were the newcomers. Public opinion once pushed for strict limits on vehicles, but instead of slowing cars down, messaging changed. The idea of jaywalking was introduced, framing pedestrians as the problem. Over time, the rules shifted, and so did public perception. Or consider grocery stores. Ever notice there are no clocks or windows? Essentials like milk and eggs are usually placed far from the entrance. That's not random. The layout is designed to guide you past as many products as possible, increasing the chances you'll make impulse purchases. It's not just shopping, it's strategy. Even expiration dates can be misleading. Many people treat them as strict safety deadlines. In reality, they're often general estimates of quality. Perfectly edible food gets thrown away and replaced. Then there's the keyboard you're using right now. The layout was designed to slow typists down on early machines to prevent jams. That limitation no longer exists, but the layout stayed because changing it would cost too much. Clothing sizes. Some brands intentionally label larger clothes as smaller sizes to make customers feel better. It's called vanity sizing. And finally, your credit score. It feels official, like a measure of responsibility, but it's built by private systems. Someone who avoids debt entirely might score lower than someone who borrows frequently and pays interest. So what does all of this mean? From the way you move through a city, to the systems that judge you, many parts of daily life weren't shaped by accident. They were designed. The next time you make a simple choice, pause for a second. Ask yourself, was this really your decision? If you found this eye-opening, share it with someone who should see it. And if you want more stories like this, stay tuned.